Ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to today's episode of Storytime with Uncle Njomo. We'll be looking at life at a lighter side today, and I'll be talking about romantic life of the yesteryears and romantic life today. Romantic life in the yesteryears and romantic life today. What pushed me to come on with this topic? It is because I was at a drinking spot, a very popular one. And of course, majority of the people sitting there were youths. There were boys and girls sitting together and drinking and chatting. And then something pulled my attention. I saw a young girl who took a large bottle of a drink. I quivered a little bit as she asked for number 2. Then she started talking at random with the boy. And before I knew, the boy was chatting the girl, and somewhere along the line, the girl just said, "Master, how would you do now?" And the boy just replied, "You know how would you do now? No, enough for go." I just got a little, I said maybe, I listened to them, and I discovered the boy had chatted the girl, and the girl had eventually said, "Yes, let's go." And I discovered that both of them were meeting there for the first time. So my mind started moving on, and I was doubting. I said, this kind of instant chat, and I know very well that they're living there in the night, they're going home. Of course, I know what will follow after. So my mind started rolling on to most of these scenes. And then I remembered, I said, God, is this how people chat women and get it so easily these days? So my mind went back to an issue. I said, in church, people are praying, people are shouting, people are seeing visions. And I recalled a story of a few years back where a girl who had not been married, of course, they tell you in church, pray and pray, pray and pray, pray, pray for your husband, pray for a wife, pray, and people start talking and babbling and babbling. One day in the prayer session, the girl had been timing a lawyer who is a member of that church. One day during a prayer session, they were shouting, and she said, I have seen a vision, and the vision tells me that my husband is in this church, and he is lawyer. Boom! He called the boy's name. Hey! The boy shook. And people were clapping, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. The following day, they came back to the prayer session. The boy too, during a heated prayer moment, saw his own vision. I have seen a vision. I've seen people were shouting. And the boy said, my wife is not from this group. My wife is not in this church. My wife. I said, people have started dramatizing this issue. But ladies and gentlemen, if I am bringing all of that, is to talk about the difference in this romantic life of yesterday and today. Yesterday, I will tell you, if you wanted to talk to a girl, it couldn't happen instantly. It takes days of planning, and usually in smaller communities where people had to go to streams to fetch water, you time the girl takes her bucket and goes to the stream, and when she is coming back, block her on the way, and you start talking to her. And you are talking to her, she cannot look at you in the eyes. She takes her toes, and she's listening to you, but she is playing with her toes and writing figures on the ground and listening. Sometimes she would even send her hand and be plucking the leaves that are around her. And there was a phenomenon at the time. When you chat a girl, she would tell you, let me go and consider. To give you that kind of instant reply, no, it would not work. Another method which was used was letter writing. When you write it to the girl, she takes the letter. Don't wait for an instant reply. She goes and will tell you, let me consider. And this issue of considering, when you've written a letter, means she goes and calls a group of her friends. They hold a small conference about you. They all read the letter, they analyze the letter, and then they come up with their very points. Whatever resolution is taken in that group, that is your fate. Everybody will be bringing points. You see that Joe, anyway, the boy they work up far, he quiet, Joe, the boy, he didn't overtalk for girls, Joe. That is the debate. And when they take their resolutions, then you will receive a reply. So there was always that phrase, that phenomenon, let me consider. It is because love at the time was sacred, considered sacred, as it should be. It was a very complex process. I will tell you that it was so complex that even girls had developed a defensive mechanism. They had various defensive mechanisms. Do you know that those days, girls had even been tutored and brought up and told that if a boy even just touches you like this with your hand, you will go pregnant. Go out and meet some of these old women and ask them. They were told that a boy comes close to you, talks to you, and his hand touches you, that is even a criteria for you to get pregnant. I bet you. Then, you would even like to know that there were girls from some secondary schools. When we had our Sunday gigs with youths, you know, these records, you say slow. Mama, you attempt to hold a girl to dance slow with her. She will put her hands on her chest so that your chest, both chests, don't meet. And it is on record during our days in the late 60s that a girl from one of the mission secondary schools, a boy was trying to hold her tight. She just turned to the boy and said, well, if the Lord comes and sees us tight like that, what will he say? Can you imagine? So it was a complex situation. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this is an appeal we are making. That true love comes from the heart. It is void of interest. Keep that. You don't pick it from the roadside. You don't sell it cheap. Because remember, the faster you give, the faster it goes. True love goes with appreciation. It goes with respect. Actions, exchanges are reciprocal. So once more, ladies and gentlemen, let me appeal that we should always know that true love comes from the heart. Have you found yourself, especially the women, in a situation where somebody chats you? You go home and you are telling your friends, agree me, I don't even, if you ask me, say, what are the same for that boy back? I don't tell me, I don't tell you, when you cannot explain, it means that it is deep down from the heart. You hear people say, Master, I don't know me, which way that man give me, If you ask me, say that, I don't know what to tell you. It is coming from the heart. Will I leave you to go like this? I will take you to Bongo's request to remind you about what he says. I am searching for true love. I God keep on searching till I find. Nothing good comes easy, this I know. I God just wisdom till I find. Ladies and gentlemen, we are appealing to you to like, to comment, share, and you subscribe to our channel.